Hey guys, Techman here, also known as Matthew Rivera, and today this is going to be a very different video from any type of video I have done, and I'm very excited to do this. And as you can see, it involves microphones and a guitar and some strings. So let's get started. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be basically showing you and comparing this type of strings that are on here versus the Ernie ball super slinky guitar strings. A lot of people use these strings. Among them is a lot of famous people like Aerosmith, Eric Clapton, John Mayer, McKee, and much more. I'm going to be replacing these strings to these over here, and basically these strings are replacement strings for this, because when we got this, we used the strings that was originally on this. They developed like a blue film on the back and they got on your hands, so we replaced it with these, and these have been the ones that have been running ever since then. Why we are replacing these is because, first of all, I was trying to play Rylynn by McKee, trying to learn how to play it, and it's a very, very different tune from the standard tuning for a guitar, and well, I popped the E string. Basically, that was a long time ago, and the high E string on this was from the original set that came on this guitar. So I'm replacing these strings because they sound very metally. They don't really have a good sound to them when you get up to the high range of the last maybe 3 or 4 strings, as well as they're a few years old and they have to be replaced anyways. This was my very first guitar that I ever learned how to play guitar on, because when I was younger my hands were small and still growing, and my hands basically could have fit around here. Now it's overdoing my hand and I can just grip the neck like this, and back then I could probably just grip it like this. So my hands were very small then, and it fit my hand, unlike a nylon string that my dad has, and the neck is wider. So before I start playing, I want to show you the setup I have with these microphones here. I have the guitar, a microphone right here, and then you can see this pole behind me. It's a microphone above me, and I'll explain that later. Now, this microphone right here is a large diaphragm condenser microphone. It's the PreSonus M7, and when I was setting up this exact thing, I used 2 MXL 990s to make it sound similar. And basically when I placed that one right here, it's much more sensitive than this one, and it has a higher frequency range because it's a large diaphragm. And in the higher range of the frequency, it brought out more of the highs, and it brought down the lows, unlike the MXLs, which it brought the low end up and made it more punchy than this one here. And I didn't want it to be right here, because every single time I play something, it was so punchy, and it was really harmful to the ears in my opinion, and I didn't really want that to be that. I just wanted to get that equal low and high range and everything in this guitar. So basically this microphone here is on a boom stand. It is extended, and the microphone is turned off of its axis, which is, instead of being on axis, which is straight forward, it's off about 45-ish degrees, maybe less, 40s degrees, because it's not a huge 90-degree turn. It's basically just a half a turn, and it's pointing towards the 12th fret. The 12th fret, or right here, is perfect. So the 12th fret on this guitar is right here, and it's sort of pointing to that direction, but since it's off axis, you're getting all this right here, right here. Okay, moving along to a microphone up here. This explains a pole. This one is the MXL 990. It's extended going this way, and it's pointing down like this. So basically the MXL logo on the front of the condenser is the spot where you want it to be pointing at. And basically the logo is right here, and it's pointing towards basically the area of here. Collecting sound from what you're hearing when you stand in front of it. That's what I also learned from recording techniques, which is pretty cool. what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna play a tune that is not copyrighted. It's just a tune that I made up. And basically I'm gonna be switching between the two. You'll also hear and see the difference, seeing with the microphone on the corner of the screen somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna basically put it on a corner of the screen like the PreSonus M7 and the XL. I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna flip between the two. And then I'll pan them both left and right. This one will be on the left, this one be on the right. And you'll hear the difference between the two of each on each ear to see what you hear. And then I'm gonna merge them together and add effects to make it sound good. So let's do this demonstration here. Okay, so basically that wasn't the best I can do here. Of course, you're dealing with a smaller neck. My hands are killing me from these guitar strings, and I hope you can hear the difference between the two that you hear, and it really sounds good in my opinion. As well as comment down below and tell me what you think of these guitar strings. In my opinion, as I said before, it just sounds metally, it hurts the fingers. So again, comment down below and tell me what you think of this mic setup, and also comment down below and tell me what you think of these guitar strings that are on these right now. Now for those who have dealt with metal string guitars like this, it's quite easy to replace these strings. I personally did the high E string because I broke it, and as you can see, it's not like how my dad strung these strings. I sort of did a good job. It still has something here, but I didn't really know how to, but now I do. And basically, I'm just gonna show you how to replace these strings. So let's get started. Alrighty guys, so we are here going to do these strings. So basically what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to show you how to redo strings or renew strings. I'm just going to do 1 to 2 strings because it's very time consuming, and you have to wind it right, you have to do everything correctly, and I'm going to show you for 2 strings or 1 depending, and I'm very excited to do this. By the way, to mention, this guitar is a CD-60 NAT, N-A-T, and that's what this is, and it's a very beautiful guitar. So to jump in, what you'll need is a wire cutter, pliers, a dust rag, and of course the strings itself. Now why you need pliers is because usually if you have money, you can get this little plastic thing. It's called a string unwinder or winder, I guess you can call it. You can connect it to here and you can easily just turn it. Along with the, it has like a notch to pull these pins out, and you can pull these pins out to get this end of the string out. Basically, of course, I'll have to manually undo this because I don't have that thing. The pliers are for is to lift these up, and if I don't feel safe with these pliers, because of course they have teeth, I will grab some tissue, maybe like 2 to 3 layers of tissue, wrap it in here, and I'll just pry it out slowly because I don't want to damage these or break them or do anything. Now I will be making a few notes here and there on this process, and let's get started. So, and of course we have these, so we're going to of course take out my trusty unboxing knife that's very dull, and we're going to undo this packaging. Now the best thing about this pack is that it has 3 sets. As you can see, it has 6 strings in each set, so if you do ruin these, you have two others because you replaced one with them. Now to mention, this is something that I learned along a way of learning how to string things and just researching some. So basically, if you look at these gauges here, or these numbers, they're 42, 32, 24, 16, 11, and 9. Now, every single time I looked at strings and I looked at these numbers, I'm like, what the heck do they mean? Well, it's very simple. The thickest one is 42, that's the E string. That's the thickest one, and then the 9 is the high E string. So basically 42, 32, 24, 16, 11, and 9. So it doesn't go through 9, 11, 16, 24, 32, 42. It goes down this way. Now let's get started with unwinding. I'm going to unwind all of these, and of course it's going to take a while because I have to do it by hand. And I'm going to put some tension on these things to make them rise up, and I can just put them at an equal length of tension all across the 6 strings. So let me do that. Okay, so these are all undone. What you're gonna do next is that you're gonna cut. No, you're not gonna cut this. Of course, we have 3 sets of strings here, but sometimes you don't and you just got one. If that other pair breaks, you're not gonna have an extra string of a specific string that broke, so you have to buy an entire thing. So what I do, and of course my dad does, is that you do not cut this. I would never cut strings. What you can do is just unwind it from here. Since this is loose from here, you can just unwind it from everything here. Now before I start unwinding, look at each type of string and how it's strung. Ignore the E string because that's what I done years ago, but basically you can see the E string, the A, and so on are going like this. They go inwards, outwards like a Y. You don't go from here because you will screw up these pegs and maybe screw up the entire mechanism here. You don't want to do that. And when I show you how to do the 2 strings here, you will see each one how I wind it up. Okay, so we got this unrung. We didn't have to cut it or anything. So I'm going to start with the E string puck. And I'm going to show you something that's really important with these things here. Here is the E string with the ball here. And what you have to do is that you can stick this thing in here. And of course, there's this little tiny slit in the piece, and what you have to do is that you have to align that piece with this thing as you put this thing in. So you put that in and you align it in like this and it will go in. So it's that easy to undo these, and you have to be really careful without screwing these holes up, and don't break these are plastic. So I'm going to do it for all these 5 more. And if you don't want to lose it, just place it back in. Leave it loose so you can place it out, because if you shove it in, it's going to be hard to get out. Okay, so we got all these strings out, and now you don't want to stab yourself with these things. These things are very sharp, but what you can do is basically just grab them all. Doesn't really matter if they're tangled, and you wrap them like this, put that over. Maybe do it one more time, and there you have it. You have your string, and you can see by my hand there's these things that are like bluish, greenish. I don't know what it is. That's just the strings. That's why these should have gotten replaced, and they are right now. Now, to note, before I move on, you will prick yourself on these things, and I did it to my ring finger here. I feel like this one is like the thinnest and the sharpest, and I prick myself, so just be careful with undoing these and pricking yourself. We are going to grab our dust rag and we're going to dust everything off, because you don't usually get up to here and clean this, including right here. So let's clean this up. We'll clean the bridge a little bit. Clean this area, do the fretboard. You can go with the grain and against it to get all that little tiny stuff out. You can do it along the neck or along the base here. And do it right here too, because you don't really get here often either. And if it's polished, then you'll have a wonderful time with that. Looking very clean and nice. Alrighty, so this is dusted off. And now we are going to restring this thing with the Ernie ball custom gauges. Now the best part about packages like this is that it actually has the number of gauges here. So as we talked about, 42 is the thickest string, and let's get to that lowest one, and 9 is the high E string. So basically you will have no issues doing this. Also, if it's not numbered here with the gauges, what you can do is you just have to look at the color coding, and on the packages sometimes there's color coding, and it will show you like the E string is blue, the A string is red, something like that, and you can just align it up like that. Let's start with the E string. Alrighty, so this is the E string right here, and of course this is wound with tension because you can tell it's wound. So basically you just basically unwind it and don't stab yourself, don't prick your eye. So just be very careful with what you're doing, and then we can unwind it, and there we go. It's perfect. Okay, I'm going to reiterate what I said, is that there's these slots in here and these things follow suit in. But what you could do to help it come out and sit good on this rib, I guess you can call it, is that you can just grab it from here and just bend it like so. So then it has a good angle to it. So what you do is stick it in like this, go here, make sure it's aligned with that line piece right here, so the string sits on that line, and then this thing is sitting in, you push it in, and it is good. And give it a good tug, and now it's good. Now since this is tight, we're going to go over here, and of course this one goes to this string. Now there's 6 ribs, I guess you can call it here. And to make the tuning easier and not make it slide, you can grab a pencil, a mechanical pencil, anything that has lead in it, and you can draw or color in these ribs here. So what you could do is just go in here, just do it ever so slightly. This will help with tuning. I did it to the other guitars as well. And as you can tell, this one is the thickest for the E string, and as you go lower, it gets very thin, and the lead will graze on it. And you can just brush it off, and then it's all there. Since this goes to here, we have to go to this one right here. So then we're going to turn this around to make it align up to this hole right here. So you go through here, pull it through, give it a few slacks, and then you start tightening. This is loosening, this is tightening, so you just tighten it and make sure it follows this area here. Now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go over this, and then it's gonna follow through. So you will have to do some adjustings, and so it goes like this and then down, following suit. Don't mind that sound, this thing's just scraping. Make sure it's neat too. And you will have to adjust these things. And this is getting tightened, so you're basically just helping it along. So now, we got a 3rd string in it. This is getting tight, so it's about that time to place this in its hole, in its rib. And then, now this is ever so slightly tightened. Now, what you do with this end is that you just don't want to leave this dangling out. That's a little bit just unorganized. So this is where the wire cutters come in. So a lot of people snip it right up against the thing here. And I just don't think that's, I mean, it's good for neatness and you won't prick yourself, but still, just do it a little bit over and cut. The damage is done. So this is in its rib and it's not tuned, and I can automatically hear a difference. That's crazy. So we're going to grab the 32 gauge, and as you can see by this diagram here, this is the E string, that's the A. I believe this is the A, so this is the A string. And as you can tell, I'm going to go across from here, and then this side, this is the E, and then everything else follows. So let's grab this string, wind it up, don't prick yourself. Go over here, go to this pin, fold this to make it sit well. Then slide this in, and then align the string up with this, with that slot, and push it in. That's good. Now pull it tight. Give it some tension so it won't like pop out. Carry it out. Go to this string. Let's align it up like this. What I'm doing is that I'm lining the hole straight forward so it's easy to slide in. Bring it like this. Line it up with this, and as you can tell, each is lining up like this. So now we're going to tighten. So this is tightening here. Let me move this. So this is tightening here. Of course, give it some slack and tighten. Now we're going to go over this one. Don't make this smack at you in your eyes. So we're going to go over this one. Do this. And then we're going to go under. Okay, it's starting to tighten. Put it to the A slot here. And that is in. So now we're going to give it a little bit of slack and cut. Damage is done. Alrighty, so we did the E string and the A string, and I did too, and it's very, very, very easy to do. It's not that hard. I'm going to come back to you guys when I'm completely done winding this up. Alrighty guys, so we are back, and I completely strung this thing, and as you can see, it's very neat over here. For this side, you're tuning this way, so this is tuning upwards, this tuning down, tuning up. Then this side, this is tuning down this way, going this way. So then this one is going up like this. So basically it's the opposite. So this one's tuning. If you go from tuning this way, you're going down. Because what I was doing was I didn't want to tune it, I didn't want to string it wrong. So I was pretending I was tuning these things. So I remember going up like this, going here, tuning up like this, and then tuning this way, going this way, not going down, going up. So that's how I figured that out. Right now, I'm going to tune this right here, and then I'm going to show you some exercises you can do. No, not you exercise, you got enough exercise of stressing out over this. But so I have guitar tuner. This is a musician type of guitar tuning thing. I love it because it shows you the diagram of E, A, D, G, B, A. With this tuner, when you're flat, you're this way, you're sharp, you're that way. We're there. Now this thing, and I already heard, is that it's getting out of tune. These strings are tensioning up to its original tension and getting adjusted. So there's an exercise you can do with these. There's maybe 2 or 3, but the ones that are on my mind is you just grab each string and do that, but very softly, and you can just keep doing that. Place my hand up here in the hole, and I lift ever so slightly, just enough force to make it stretch and flex. And then over here, I just wiggle these things around. And then probably it'll be out of tune. slightly. This thing will be going in and out of tune a lot of times, and then eventually it will settle down, and then when it settles down, you'll tune it one last time and it'll be good for good. Now let's jump back to my chair and we can test this out, see what it sounds like. Alrighty guys, so this thing is tuned, it's restrung with new Ernie Ball Super Slinky strings. I'm very excited to try it out. It is a little bit out of tune. That's to be expected because of how new they are, and they are just adjusting to everything. And basically every single time you play it and keep tuning it, it will get better, and then finally it will stay in tune. For the setup of the microphones, nothing has changed whatsoever. Still 6 inches off axis of the fretboard at the 12th fret, going over here, and then of course 90 pointing this way directly, just dispersed or around the sound hole. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to pluck each string to hear what it sounds like, and then I'm gonna play an E to just bring out the bass and everything, see what difference it is. So what I'm hearing different is how not punchy the bass is. It's more equal in a way. So if I play the E string, it just sounds even and it sounds good in a way. The second thing I realized is that it's so nice on the hands. Unlike the strings that was previously on here, when I play a G, I can feel the high E string just dig into my pinky, feeling like it's getting cut. This one doesn't feel like it's getting cut. I can do this all day and it won't feel like my hand is getting cut. See, this one is out of tune already. Sounds really good though, the tone of everything. So I'm gonna play something similar to what I played in the beginning. It's not going to be the same thing. It's probably going to be the same chords. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to play this right now, and I'm going to put it from left to right, and then you can hear a difference. You can maybe switch on and off left and right on your ears or whatever. Basically that's what I'm going to do, and then that's it. So let me play this and we'll wrap up. Anyways guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have you subscribed yet? If not, what are you doing? You should. When you subscribe, there is something called a notification bell, and when you press that, you will get notified whenever I upload a video like this or any type of video. And I also have a vlogging and gaming channel. The links will be in the description box below, and you can check it out at the last 20 seconds of this video. So go ahead, if you want to check it out, subscribe. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so glad I got to do this. I haven't played this guitar on YouTube ever since my guitar tutorial. I should start making more. I mean, I enjoy doing it, so it's pretty cool. Maybe I should do one for Christmas. And guys, I am sorry if you are watching this, whoever has been requesting videos for me to react to. I'm sorry, school is one of those things that I cannot control. And basically I had free time today to do this video here. It's just exam after exam, work, all this stuff. So I barely have time to react to videos, and I have a lot of videos that you guys been wanting for me to react to. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was amazing. I love doing this. I should definitely make some tutorials on this, playing songs. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and this is the Techman signing off. See you later, guys.